Hey, I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber, coming to you on YouTube Live. If you've never been here before, you may want to hang around and check this out. Now, if you're new to the show, number one, welcome. What we do is we talk plumbing. It's plumbing Q&A. We talk about people that want to get into the trades, people that are in the trades and want to get better, people that are in the trades are really good at it and maybe one day want to open their own company, and we talk about plumbing company owners, residential trade company owners that want to grow with the power of social media. So we do it all here. But if this is your first time here and you're catching on a replay and you're looking for something in particular, you may want to jump back over to the channel, go into the search bar, and search what you're looking for. We make plumbing videos teaching people, and even plumbers, how to do plumbing and how to do things better. So hopefully everything is going good. Hopefully everything is going well. And I'm getting a note that says mic is not on. Do we have a mic? You get it? Okay. Did we just get it turned on?
Yeah, we switched them.
So do I need to start again? So anyway, guys, apparently I think we've got the mic fixed. If y'all can hear me, please let me know. We have definitely had some technical difficulties today, but we're working on it. We're trying to work on it. So, okay, now it says I'm coming in too loud. Okay, and I can work on that from right over here with this other mouse. How am I doing, everybody? Can you hear me now? And that should have taken care of the too loud. Okay, sorry about your ears. Okay. Man, we are experiencing technical difficulties today, but we supposedly have it under control. So anyway, how's everybody doing? I'm going to jump right down here and do one more little thing real quick. What I was saying a while ago is if you've never been here before and you're new to the channel, number one, thank you for being here. Number two, good, perfect, I love it. So the thing is, if you've never been here before and you're here on the live stream, welcome, glad to have you here. We've got people that want to get in the trades, people that are in the trades and want to get better, people that are good in the trades and want to open their own company, and we've got trades company owners that literally want to use social media to grow their businesses. So we actually talk a little bit about all of it here, and man, we enjoy talking plumbing. So what I will tell you is that if you're here and you're just looking for something in particular, man, and you're on the replay, jump over into the search what you're looking for, and you should be able to find it. So, guys, number one, man, how is everybody doing? Now it went soft again. Okay, so see, I am going to bump back up right here and bump back up right there. And I don't know why we're having problems with mics. We normally don't, but I've turned it up just a little bit here too, Austin, so don't let it go crazy. And, man, plumbing is fun. I see we have Wire Nut Joe in the house, IBEW. Good to have you in here. And, the unions. And we're going to talk a lot about that today. The reason being is, I caught a deal on the Plumbers Union yesterday about Mark McManus. He was doing a live stream, and I don't know that it was a live stream, but he was actually addressing the union body about the XL pipeline, the Keystone XL pipeline. And the reason things is that the union's not real happy. And I can't say I blame them. They're not real happy that Joe Biden came in the first day and actually cut the XL pipeline, but it is what it is. The thing is, and I'm one of these union members, I don't always vote the way the union tells me to. And I think that's why a lot of people are really upset, because the union was literally pushing hard for everybody to vote for Joe Biden. And I got to tell you, the first thing he did is come in and cut union work, and not just union work. It affects everybody. But, guys, the big thing about it is Joe Biden's been saying that's exactly what he's going to do. So my thought is, if you were told this in the beginning, why are you upset now? Now, those of y'all that know me know I used to be a big part of the United Association. I was actually an instructor here at Local 100 in Dallas. I actually was a superintendent in the union. I started out as a journeyman. I moved up through foreman, superintendent, general superintendent, a director of a total station department, and then I became director of operations for one of the large mechanical contractors. And what I will tell you is, look, there's a lot of good things about the union. Sorry about that. Got something in my mouth. There it is. Mustache hair. It's dead now. So the funny thing is, and I want to jump in here because I just see this real quick. Lazy C says, hey, Roger, just on my first week of my plumbing apprenticeship last week. Loved it. Can't wait to learn more. If y'all are new to plumbing, do me a favor. Put a hashtag me in here. The reason being is we have a lot of people that are new to the trades. We have a lot of people that want to get into the trades that watch our channel. But the cool thing is we have a lot of journeymen too. Now, when I say trades, I don't just mean plumbing. We have an electrician in here from the IBEW. We have a lot of people that literally get in here and, they tell me all the time, says, Roger, look, you say plumbing, but literally I can take the word plumbing out and put in electrician, HVAC tech, roofer, electrician, glazer. I mean, it doesn't matter. Anything I talk about is good for the trades. It's not just plumbing. I want to say hello to my moderators real quick. We have Editor Grayson. We have Julie Wakefield. We have Amber Mendoza in here. We also have Austin and Liz and Virgil in the house. So, man, I want to reach out and say thanks to everybody that helps me get everything going. And look at all the hashtag me's. I like this. And Talano 246 is me starting next year. Man, you can get so far ahead just by getting in here and learning and growing, just getting ready to get in. I like this. Will Calderhead says me, Union in Houston. Hello to Local 68. Look, I believe in the union. I think that the cool thing is, let me do this right here. I think that, I can't moderate the video owner now. It shows Liz as the video owner. So one of the moderators, if y'all can show Liz's comment, that'd be great. The neat thing about it though is, look, I believe in the union. I think the union has a great training program. It has a great education system. But I also got to tell you, they're not the only one. And Neil the Urban Explorer's in the house. Guys, that's another moderator who's fantastic. Neil is one of these people, man, number one, his YouTube awareness is phenomenal. This guy knows what he's doing. If you hadn't subscribed, jump over to his channel and see what you can do over there. Man, watch what he does with vans and how he does it. It's really phenomenal. And yes, Neil, you are here. So welcome. Those of y'all that don't know, I am just getting over COVID. I literally, I detached my bicep from my elbow 2 weeks ago. And literally the day I detached it, I was in a surgeon's office this afternoon. The crazy thing is, I had an eye doctor that morning that I did it. And so I came in, detached my bicep, did LinkedIn Live, went to my eye doctor. While I was at the eye doctor, Julie and Amber were scheduling things with me a lot. They went and got me an appointment for 3 o'clock that afternoon. I went in, did a x-ray, saw the surgeon, and this is a surgeon that does a lot of work for the Texas Rangers and the Dallas Stars. So went in and saw them. It was fantastic. They wanted to get me scheduled for Monday, like 6 days later. The neat thing the neat thing about it was, man, we had everything set up, had insurance in place, prepay ready to go, the whole 9 yards. I went in for a COVID test on the 21st, and they said, you have COVID. And I'm like, wait, I show zero signs at all. I actually got them to do the test again. When they did the test again, it came back positive twice, right there within 20 minutes. 2 different tests. And so what we did is I came up to the office, packed up my computer. I went home. I've worked at home until today. I literally just today started getting my taste back. I kind of BS'd myself over the weekend. It's like, oh wait, I think in the back of my mind I can taste this and all. It's that something you want really, really bad. So the funny thing about it is, man, it is so good to have my taste back. And Julie will tell you, it takes the fun out of living when you don't have your taste buds. Joe Blow says, you ever do plumbing for so long it no longer feels like work? I got to tell you, I love the trade that we're in. It is phenomenal. Now, I want to see, I think that we've already done that and got that. So if I close this, I want to let everybody know that there is a link up top. So if you want to ask me a question and it's one you really want to get answered, make sure you go up to the top, go over into the form, ask your question there. I guarantee that I will get to those unless I just get so many that it's impossible. But if you'll go up into the form, go up, click on the link, go over and ask the questions. I'm going to jump over here in just a minute and start answering some of these. But first of all, I want to talk about, what's going on with the union. And like I said, look, nothing against the union. I was a union member for about 25 years. Not quite, but I've got 25 years service. I want to say hello to Sean Strong in the house. How you doing, my brother? So, the cool thing about it is, look, I believe in the union. I think the union is great for an education. It's great for the benefits. If you're in the union, you can literally have, there you go, that looks better. You can literally have 50 children and the insurance is paid for by your union employer. So, I like that part of the union because I think it's better for the employees. I tell people all the time, one of my favorite things about the union is the fact that the education is, they've got a good education. At least most of the unions do. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been up to the instructor training program in Ann Arbor. I know that there are instructors up there that are just in it for the check. They really don't care about teaching and educating. They'll teach and educate, but it's just for the check. Me, I was there for the education. I wanted to learn and I wanted to pass that on to other apprentices. And that's why I do what I do. So those of y'all, and I'm not sure how many are in here right now. I can't see, but what I will tell you is I love what I do. And if you're interested in plumbing, you're interested in the trades at all, if you haven't done it yet, please go down right below this video, hit subscribe and hit ring the bell so you don't miss out on anything. We talk about a lot of cool stuff. And today we're actually going to talk about the union. We're going to talk about what's going on with the Keystone Pipeline. We're going to talk about why I have a problem with the union telling people who to vote for. And, I heard the video by Mark McManus, and look, I've met Mark McManus. I spoke with him actually right after he went into the White House and met with Trump. So I know a lot of the things that went on there. But the cool thing is, the union does a lot for the trades in general. And when I say the union, I mean all the different ones, the IBEW, the United Association, all of them. So the big thing about it for me is I believe that the unions are good for the trades. I believe it because of the benefits. I believe it because of wages. I believe in a lot of things that they do. But I don't like when they start getting in, that they're really mad right now. They threw a freaking ton of money through the Political Action Committee towards the election. They got who they wanted elected, and now they're complaining that they did what they said they do. And Mark McManus, I don't get that. President Biden said, I do not like the XL pipeline. I want it to go away. I don't believe in it, yada, yada, yada. And you know what, man, he was honest about it, and he's done it. Now, you can say that y'all don't like Trump because Trump didn't do everything he said he'd do. Well, now you're mad at Biden, and he did exactly what he told you he was going to do. So as a union member, I don't necessarily get that. But I'm one of those people too. I don't vote the way the union tells me to vote. I look at the people running and vote who I think is going to be best. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit this morning. I do think the union is phenomenal for people that want to learn. If you want to get into commercial work and you want to learn it, I think the union is a really good way to do it. You can come in as a plumber, you can come in as a pipe fitter, you can come in as a welder, you can do a bunch of different things, and it's really pretty cool. So I am going to jump back over into the chat real quick. Nancy Ramirez says, love your passion. That's what makes a great teacher. Now, I love talking plumbing. I get excited about it, and it's really cool stuff. So looks like Editor Grayson can actually comment today. This is kind of neat. Charles Wilson, the cool thing is, we really didn't miss much. We've done 2 LinkedIn Lives from the house. I've got a LinkedIn Live tomorrow. So if you aren't connected with me on LinkedIn, connect with me now. You'll see what we do in there tomorrow. Hopefully Sean Strong will be there. He normally jumps in, which is a great thing. So, did you like the union's insurance? Jamie Rush, I got to tell you, the union's insurance was really good. I have no problem with it. They used Blue Cross Blue Shield. It was good insurance. I really did like it. Rick Columbus, as a plumber, I want to thank, or as a carpenter, I want to thank all you plumbers. All the fancy homes I built would be full of it. Yeah, boy, you're right. Thank you. And you know what, man, we appreciate y'all because you give us walls to hang stuff on. So I love it. And Sabine Rose says, I have a question, Mr. Wakefield. Who might I call about a condensate box leaking water? Sure, it's just clogged. I normally call the plumber. Just anything with water, I call a plumber. And you get a lot of plumbers that say, well, we don't do HVAC drains and stuff like that. But you know what? I do. I think that they are fantastic. We'll say hello to Craig, a carpenter from England. Good to have you in the house. Yeah, where's Seabart been? I miss my Canadian brother. You know what? There's a lot of people that, man, they get caught up and in here, and then they'll miss out for a while, but nothing wrong. Southern Missouri Weather says, what's your problem with the union? And my problem is my local union made me a lot of promises when I started my own company here in Dallas they didn't keep up with. And one of the big union members here, and not just members, one of the union agents here, when I went in and talked to him about getting out, he literally told me, he says, Roger, it sounds like you were sold a whole bunch of stuff or sold a whole big bill of goods that they didn't come through with. And that is the absolute truth. So I'm going to jump over into the responses real quick, or the questions. Sorry about that. So I'm over in the forum now. And, RH, look, and I'm not going to say anything bad about the unions. I don't agree with the way that I was treated. I don't think, and this is what I tell people wanting to get in the trades. Look, the unions are good if you're a tradesman, if you're an employee, if you are an hourly employee, even if you're up in management, if you're a foreman or a superintendent or something like that, the union is a great place because of the education, because of all that they do. The union is fantastic. I love the insurance. But what I will say is that there are things about the union that I think they could get better at. And I wish that they would, because I think the world would be a better place. And I know that's going to sound funny, but I think the world would be a better place if we were all union and we could all help support each other and work together. And I'm sure that Sean Strong just got out of the live. I think that there are benefits to the union. And I say that, but remember, I'm open shop now. I want to say thanks to the super chat from Greg C. Greg says, have you ever calculated how much over your career you've paid your union reps? Our company's union reps are overweight, and I only see them in our cafeteria. Greg, number one, man, my business manager here has had lap band surgery, and I don't know why he did it, because he's still big. But, my thing is, here's where I have a concern with it is that's the person representing our union membership. And if I was every union member here, I would be concerned about that, because every time somebody comes down here to sign up, that's the face of the union that they see. And, the bad thing is I have a lot of respect for the union itself, the United Association, the organization. But when you look back over like 20 years, they're really not growing. And I think that part is sad, because the problem of it is they have a lot to offer. And to me, if they would do things right, I really think that they could get in and do a ton of stuff. So Greg, see, look, here's what I've got to say. I know that we've paid them a ton of money. I know that when Julie and I got out after being in the union just under 5 years, we had sent the union $400,000. And I got to tell you, for a young company starting out, that's a lot of money. And it's really bad when you can go down there and say, hey, the business manager did not do the things that he told me he would do. And to me, I think it's wrong. I've had attorneys that have heard my story here and reach out and say, look, you ought to sue the union. And they've actually told me, look, you've got a great lawsuit. Thing is, it's not what I really want to do. Sean says, I work too hard to be in the union. And Sean, the funny thing is look, when I got in the union, man, I was the hardest working guy there. I wanted to outwork everybody there because I wanted them to understand just because they're union doesn't mean they're better than me. And I proved it. It was a very good deal for me. But the neat thing about it is I do think there's a lot of things the union does that can make them better for everybody. And it's something that I think that, and I really wish that they would work on growing, because I think it would be beneficial to a ton of people. Man, I needed that cold water. Neil, just going to tell you, man, we're feeling great. I mean, today I actually felt phenomenal. I woke up, I got on the treadmill, went for 4 miles in an hour. Sean, I got out because as a residential service owner, it's hard for me to justify it with Julie in a room next door. It's hard to justify giving them $400,000 over 5 years and not getting the education, not getting the trained employees, all the stuff that they promised me. My local union, they're not good for the union. They're not good for the union in general because they don't keep their word. They're not trying to grow residential service. They've been talking about it for 5 years, but they haven't done anything. And when I called the people that I do know in the United Association, they basically told me, he says, Roger, we can't control every single local union. And I'm thinking, you know what? If they represent you, why can't you? Chick-fil-A does things right at every Chick-fil-A. It doesn't matter which one you go to. They make things right there. McDonald's does not let you open a McDonald's and then go in and do things your way. So to hear that kind of BS from the union, to me, that blows my mind. If you cannot control your business agents and managers better than that, get rid of the union. Make it go away. Dissolve it. Let somebody else start over and do a better job, because y'all are half-assing it. And to me, when you represent 330,000 people across the country, you need to give it your all. And Mark McManus, I'm just telling you, to be upset now after you've given Biden all this money and he did exactly what he told you he was going to do, man, now's not the time to cry. You should have started crying beforehand and say, hey, look, here's what we want. And if we're not going to get it, here's what we need to do. So I'm going to get off my high horse now. Not trying to preach or anything. And Mr. Video Game, yes, Roger does have a sexy mustache. Thank you. Unions aren't a pyramid scheme. They're nothing like it. You're paying people to represent you. I know, Sean, man, I'm all over it today. The funny thing is, and man, look, those of y'all that can't tell, I'm passionate about what I do, whether it is plumbing, whether it is as a business owner, whether it's teaching people how to get in the trades, whether it's training people how to go from a good tradesman to a great tradesman, whether it's teaching guys how to open their own company, whether it's teaching people how to use social media to grow a little company. I mean, look at me. I own a company that is about 5% is big. God, not even that. Yeah, maybe. No, less than that. It's probably 2% as big as the biggest competition that I have around here. And guys, look, I love the owners of those companies. They're great guys. But my thought process is, look, I want to be the best. I don't have to be the biggest company, but I want the best plumbers. I want to train them the best. I want to do the best work. I want to be able to walk into Home Depot, and if I'm wearing my shirt, somebody looks at it and says, oh my God, you went to my mother's house, and my mother has bragged about how good your guys are. That's the kind of company that I want. And it's hard to do that if I'm in the union, because it's really hard for me to incentivize my guys to want to learn more, to want to get better and all that. And the union here in Dallas is not training them for me. Local 100 really has done no training, has done no recruiting, hadn't brought many jobs to me, and they really have not done much for Texas Green Plumbing here in Dallas. So I had to get out. So I'm not trying to get on a high horse today. I saw that video last night with Mark McManus, and I got to tell you, I was really disappointed in the union. I'm disappointed that the union pushed and pushed and pushed to make everybody vote that way and just preach it right and left, telling them that's what they got to do, knowing that he's already said, look, I'm going to take work away from y'all. And then when he does that, then they jump up and cry and say, hey, wait, foul. You know, this isn't right. Can't believe you're doing this. Man, they've been telling you all along they were going to. So my thing is, think about who you voted for, think about where you spent your money, and think about why you did it. Because to me, that makes no sense to me. And the bad thing is if you go over to the United Association's YouTube channel, watch that video and read all the comments in there, nobody's happy. Your union members are not happy, and they have no right to be, because y'all misled them, you misguided them, and you screwed your guys over. So, hate to say it, but Age Sierra says, I'm in the Union of Marine Engineers, working 3 years on a steamship and got a plumber's degree. Plumber's degree, can do it right, but not nice. What do you think of the mix from Norway? You know, and I don't know what you mean by the mix from Norway, unless you mean the mix of people coming in here. I got to tell you, I'm really interested. We've reached out to a company called StreamYard that will allow me to bring other people's into this video stream. And people like Sean Strong, people that I know Sean's going to come in here. He's not going to cuss. He's not going to, well, at least I hope not. He's not going to be playing music in the background that can get me in trouble. He understands, hey, you've got to be able to hear what you're saying, so you can't be on a job site and standing next to a jackhammer. There's a lot of different things, but you know, I love the fact that we get people from all around the world, and you know, people from Norway. Matter of fact, if everybody will in here, jump in the comments right now and just put a message in here where you're from. If you're in the union, put what local you're from. Look, I believe in the union, and I think there's great things about it, and I preach about the union. I tell people all the time, look, if you want to learn plumbing, there's nothing wrong with getting into the union. It's actually a good thing. So that's the way I see it. What I want to tell you is there's other places. PHCC has a stellar training program, and I think it's phenomenal. So, you know, I'm looking at what they're doing and how they're doing it, and I'm wondering, man, why aren't more people looking at PHCC? And it's really neat because PHCC has a deal going right now. They said that they are going to recruit, I think, 75,000 people into the trades in the next 5 years. That's a lot of people, y'all. It's 15,000 people a year, if my numbers are right. I think 15 and 5. So anyway, I think that PHCC is doing a lot, and I think that's great. You know, Mark McManus was complaining about, you know, the Trump administration literally going in and you know, fighting against the apprentice training, which, you know, with a lot of the trainers that I know. It's not necessarily something shouldn't be fought against, but it is what it is. Thank you for the super chat from Gerg C. Says, well, you saved me money on a plumber with your toilet repair video. And you just give me $5. No, I'm joking. I'm playing. I know. I think that's phenomenal. And Gerg, that is why I make these videos. I love helping people out. So this is phenomenal. I think that's great. And I really was playing about that. You know, the neat thing about it is, man, I love teaching people how to do things themselves, whether it's a homeowner wanting to grow his own channel, or I'm sorry, I looked down there, whether it's a homeowner wanting to learn to repair his own plumbing. And I've taught people how to fix their toilets, to fix their water heaters, their disposals, all kinds of different things. Or whether it's somebody wanting to get in the trades and learn how to do it better. I think that is phenomenal. So, you know, those are the kind of things that I do and why I do it. Joseph Lalibert says, I'm in Illinois right now and Georgia tomorrow. Man, if you can get out of Illinois right now, I heard they got quite a bit of snow up there, brother. All right, jump back in here. I see Sweden, Cleveland, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Georgia. Collins Grentals is from the UK. California, UA 488. Where's UA 488 at, Morad, if you don't mind telling me? I don't have all the unions numbers memorized and the locations. Just a lot of them I do. I've done a lot down in Houston with Local 68. So I'm very familiar with those guys down there. So Darnell Johnson says, in unions, corporations have monopolies and bully the union reps. You know, and I don't know that the unions really get bullied. I've got to say that, you know, that there's the unions used to bully people a lot. And I don't know that they do much of that anymore. I know that there are things they do where they salt jobs, that they'll put, you know, union employees on it to try to turn the job union and stuff like that. Don't know that I always agree with that, because then you're kind of sneakily trying to recruit people over. My thing is, learn to use social media. Tell people the benefits of the union. Tell them what the bad things are. And there's good and bad about both sides. And if you will take a minute to honestly talk to somebody, when I talk to people about the union, they look at me and they're like, well, wait, all that sounds pretty good. Well, look, here's the bad parts, because I'll tell you the bad parts too. But at the end of the day, I think the union's a better thing. I think due to the education, due to the insurance, due to different things like that, the union, look, it's not a bad gig. And I've made more money in the union more than I ever made open shop beforehand. But the good thing about it is, not only did I make good money, but I also had good benefits. I had insurance paid for me and my family. So a lot of different things like that. And it makes a difference. It makes a difference when you're working every day and you're not worried about your bills. You're not worried about your health. You're not worried about stuff like that. But, you know, I got to tell you, there's great things about the union. There's bad things about the union. But the good thing is, guys, the union hears about it. Why not just fix it? Why not say, look, we can make this a better place, and it would just be great. So anyway, sorry. I know I preached there. So let me jump over now into the questions. And this one is from Seth. He says, what skills does a plumber need to have? You know, the cool thing is, when you first get into plumbing, you really don't need a lot of skills. You need to be able to learn, because you're going to work with a plumber or some plumbers that hopefully can teach you how to do the trades. And a lot of people say, oh man, I could never learn that. Look, you learn to ride a bicycle. You learn to tie your shoes. You learn to brush your teeth every day, hopefully. So the cool thing about it is, look, we can learn to do anything, y'all. It's just doing it over and over again and getting really good at it. Greg C says, my insurance is just fine, non-union. And you know what? Mine is too. But my non-union company here, we still pay our insurance for our guys. So, that's something that we still wanted to do. So it's costing me a little bit more, but you know what? We're working with it. Seth, back to you real quick. If you're mechanically inclined, it's going to help. If you know how to use power tools, you know how to read a tape measure. I've got a free mini course. Those of y'all that are wanting to get into the trades, and this is literally for any trades, go to my YouTube channel in the top right corner. There's a link to my free mini course. Here's what I'll tell you about it. It's going to help you find out what kind of tradesman you want to be. Do you want to be commercial or residential? Do you want to be service or new construction? Do you want to be union or non-union? Because I'm telling you, that stuff is good to know in the very beginning. So you don't have to have a lot of skills. You'll develop them along the way. And when you do, you're going to love it. Next question is from Clayton. And says, hey, Roger, just graduated from college last year, but I'm not finding myself fulfilled, and more so find myself daydreaming about being a plumber. You know what, man, everybody daydreams about being a plumber. Don't misconstrue that. Everybody. There's two kinds of people in the world, those that are plumbers and those who daydream about it. So my question is, do you know of any other plumbers who came into the trades after graduating college? Absolutely. I've got a plumber that works for me now who graduated college. I know other plumbers that have graduated college. I know people that have graduated college that are now trying to go back and learn plumbing because they want to get their license. So absolutely. It's a good question, Clayton. Where are you located? What kind of degree did you get? A lot of different things like that. Grayson, it still won't let me show your comment. Sorry. But what I'll tell you is Clayton, that, man, number one, plumbing is phenomenal. And to be able to do it and know that it's something you really want to do, it really is. It's a cool deal. And now that's some pretty hard work there, Neil. Welcome. All right. Next question. I'm over in the forum. Jeremy says, what are some benefits of being in a union? Here are the benefits that I like. Is number one, as a union plumber, you've got a job steward. Your superintendent, they're there to work with you, and your job steward is to make sure you get your breaks. They don't try to work you without paying you. They don't try to get you to do things you're not supposed to do. Your job steward is there to also make sure that they have all the safety equipment. They have everything in place that they're supposed to have in place. But the union's good too when it comes time to negotiate for wages. The union has a team that actually sits down with the management team. So you've got labor and management, and they get together and they negotiate and talk. And you know what? Normally some good things can come out of that. I always wanted to be on the negotiations committee like that for either side, because I think that you can literally help bring people together and make it more of a team thing. And that's what I wish the union would work on, is to make it more where, hey, look, we want to help everybody. We want to, I remember whenever I went and spoke in Boston, they said, hey, look, you're going to hear us bash the contractors. If you understand this from the beginning, we're not bashing you. It's the big contractors that we have problems with. We're not talking bad about you. And I thought it was just always funny that they started off that way. Hayden Mawani, no, sir. If you'll go to the top, to the link to the forum, go over there and ask your questions. That's kind of where I'm going through the questions right now. So anyway, Jeremy, the benefits are the union normally has a lot of work. And when the union is doing things right, when they're working with their men to be better, when they're working with their men, the one thing I wish every union man understood is that without the contractors, there is no union, because they're not going to have work. The union hates the contractors, and they talk trash about them. They fight with them. They argue with them. It seems to me like they want to rip them off all the time. I really wish the union would literally start working with the contractors. If the union would call me and say, what can we do to make things better? Oh my God. I would love to help them make things better because I think the union would double in size, and I think it'd be great for the union body, the members. So sorry about that. Bluely, if you go to the very top, there is a link up there pinned to the top in the blue, and that will get you where you want to be to ask a question. And I know it's there because 20 people have already found it so far. Grant Monet says, or Monet says, what is the hardest thing to do as a plumber? To be honest, it's not hard work. You may have to dig a little bit every now and then. You may have to lift heavy pipe every now and then. But, we were talking about that earlier in our company meeting. Literally, it's changed a lot, even since I first got into plumbing. We've got dollies, we've got roustabouts, we've got scissor lifts designed to lift pipe. There's a lot of different things that we can do now that make our life easier. So, man, it's not really hard. It's just learning it, learning what it is, learning how it works, and learning how to do it and how to do it better. And man, I got to tell you, I love the trades. I love what we get to do. I love what we get to build. And it's really cool because for the rest of your life, you're literally going to be driving on a road and you're going to look over at a building and you're going to be like, and trust me, Julie will tell you, I can't tell you how many times we drive down a building or drive down a road and I'm like, hey, I built that, right? And she's like, Roger, you tell me every time we drive by. So it really is true. Customers and angry dogs are the hardest part. Boy, isn't that the truth? Okay, so Monissimo. I like that. Monissimo. What is your favorite plumbing job or project? There's two. There's one that I got to go see and look at, and that was the Garrison Brothers Distillery down in High, Texas. There's one that I actually got to build, and that was Great Wolf Lodge, the water park over in Grapevine. And I got to tell you, I loved it, man. Plumbing a water park was really, really cool. The cool thing about it is, you've got all different size pipes buried all different levels deep to go to different pools and areas and cross over each other. And man, it's just really, really neat. Love those. All right, got a lot more questions in the form now, so I know some people found it. Colin Sullivan says, how do I tell my boss I'm dyslexic? Just, man, be upfront with him. Just go in and talk to him. And, maybe a good way to put it is say, hey, look, do you have any blueprints that I can carry home and start working with? I want to learn to read them. And with me being dyslexic, I think it may take a little time. And, just let him know, or her know. And I got to tell you, it literally, it'll help build communications between you and him. That way he understands, and it's nice that you can have that conversation with him. And you know what? Anyone here from Local 68, Houston town? If so, would you recommend it for an apprenticeship? I would. Houston's got a good training program down there. I like the way they've got the school set up. Julie and I've actually been down there and seen it. I think that they do good things down there. And the neat thing about it is, man, they are literally helping with residential service. Like I said, I wish Dallas would, but Dallas isn't doing much anything. Thomas Fender says, my toilet has a notch in the back of the bowl. It was made like that, and it was like that when we moved, and a plunger won't seal around it. Therefore, won't unclog the toilet. Any suggestions? Absolutely. You can take a wet rag and put in the back of the toilet down in there by that notch and put your plunger on it. The other thing, and I don't have it in here, I got the general wire, the pneumatic air chamber plunger, man. It is awesome. Got to play with that, and man, I love it. So all kinds of cool things. So neat deals, and it makes it fun too. I see I have a super chat. Dion Potgeister, good to have you in here as always. Nothing to do with plumbing, but I had to tell someone about this project I'm working on. I'm building an air pump that keeps an airbed at a set air pressure, almost like Sleep Number, but my own design. Dude, now that is pretty cool. Yeah, that's actually really neat. Yeah, that'd be interested to see. That's kind of cool. I like that. I want to say hello to Killer Katie. Says, hey there, can't stay long to watch. Just want to say hello and thank you for your channel. It's been really helpful. Have a great day. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. And Dion Potgeister, always good to see you in here, man. Always. Editor Grayson, I have phonetic dyslexia. You know what? I'll tell you what. If you've ever heard Neil talk, you know he knows what he's doing. So, Thomas, I hope that helps you. Craig Close says, hi again, Roger from the UK. I'm a big fan of yours. I love that. Thank you. Question on thread sealants. When would you use PTFE tape or Teflon tape? And when would you use pipe dope or both? And Thomas, I got to tell you, I use both. I learned that from an engineer over at Texas Instruments. And he's a hydrochemical engineer, one of the smartest people I've ever met and talked to about water, hydronics, chemicals, the whole 9 yards. And I mean, this guy's good. He is smart. He knows what he's talking about, and he knows what he wants. Now, the cool thing about it is when I went to work in his crew, I was a crew member. I moved up to foreman and then superintendent, and I oversaw all his work. The neat thing about it is he taught me that what he wanted Teflon tape put on first, pipe dope on top of that, always. And I've done it that way ever since. And I got to tell you, man, I don't have leaks. So, man, no problem at all. Sammy Rodriguez, man, I am glad that you found my videos helpful. And we talked about that earlier. You know, whether you're an electrician, a roofer, an HVAC tech, or a plumber, guys, the things that I talk about are going to help you get better at the trades. Especially in my videos, I'm always talking to people about how to grow in the trades, how to get better in the trades, how to do different things. And man, anything that I can do to help people learn, I'm all over it. Santiago Garcia, Santiago Garcia, got it right the first time. What is the average salary of a plumber? It really depends on where you're at. I will tell you this. Getting into the union in 97, I probably made over $100,000 a year each year since then. I know a lot of service plumbers that make $100,000 to $200,000 a year. I know some that make more than that. And man, what I'll tell you is that the cool thing about plumbing is you can make whatever you want to make. And don't get me wrong, maybe not in the very beginning, but what I will tell you is if you get in the trade and you stick with it, you can move up and you can do really good things. And Joe, this shirt is red. So if you're colorblind, I'm sorry. It is red. Construction Cronies, Chris is in the house. Brother, thank you so much for the super chat. It is good to see you. Hope you are doing well up in Canada. And man, how much snow have you got up there, Chris? I know we're getting it all across from the mid-northwest up to the northeast, and it is crazy. So, Santiago, here's what I'll tell you. You can get into the trades at about $35,000 a year. You can make over $100,000. And I say the trades, it's not just plumbing, it's all of them. So I really hope that if it's something you're interested in, you check into. Man, it is phenomenal. Did you put that super chat up there or no, Liz? Roger Dodger, that's it. Man, I am Roger Dodger. I've been called that my whole life, brother. All right, and boom to the next one right there. Taylon Brennan, how are you doing? Taylon says, my dad tells me that plumbing is a fun and interesting job, and I was wondering if I should be a plumber in a couple of months when I'm old enough. Taylon, I got to tell you, I love plumbing. And if you look at my videos, you'll see it. I love what I do. I love the trades. And I say plumbing, I do. I love the trades in general. Chris, Construction Cronies, is a metal framing carpenter. And, and Chris, what do you call what you do? Are you just a carpenter, new construction carpenter? I love watching his videos because he does a lot with metal framing. And look, he's up in Canada. I'm down in Texas. We're not like next door neighbors or anything. But you look at what he does. You look at Paul Peck Drywall Tube, who does sheetrock. So many cool different things that he does. And, man, we can all learn from each other by watching how we do different things. And that's why I love talking about the trades. Those of y'all that hadn't seen it yet, we've actually got a new YouTube channel, and I love it. Construction Crony says, the trades is awesome. Brother, it is phenomenal. But we've got another YouTube channel just about the trades. And I say that, we haven't even got a video up yet, but we've got about 300 subs. So if y'all will check out the Trade Talks on YouTube, go over there and subscribe. We're looking at interviews. We're looking at different people. We're looking at all kinds of different things right now. And what we are doing is trying to set it up to where we can talk all the trades. And I've got different people coming in to interview, different people coming in for a podcast, and different people literally coming into the live stream. So we are wanting to do something really cool. Chris says, we are ISM Interior Systems Mechanic, and I am a carpenter. Knew you were a carpenter. I didn't know what your official title was. So in Canada, an ISM Interior Systems Mechanic. And, man, it's neat because I tell you what, I like the way Canada has things set up. I know that the UA is up there, so people that want to get into plumbing can do that. Thank you, Neil. Neil put in a link to the Trade Talks YouTube channel. Guys, if y'all click on that, just go over there and subscribe. We're actually working on some different things right now for that. So it's going to be cool. And I'm telling you, we got some fun stuff planned for that, and I'm looking forward to it. So Taylor Brennan, if your dad hadn't seen this channel, man, please share it with him. Ask him what he thinks about it. But I got to tell you, I love being a plumber. I love what we do. And I love all the opportunities that I've got to have because of this great career that I have. And I think this is a profession where, man, I can be proud of going to work every day. We take great care of our customers. And to me, man, life is just amazing. Next one is from Jake Razzo. Jake says, I'm looking to be a plumber, but I'm discouraged because I currently do not have a driver's license. Do not know how to use tools and do not know measurements. No college degree, prior service, willing to work well and do this trade. Any help is appreciated. What I would tell you is number one, and don't get depressed about it, Jake, because look, most of us when we started out, we didn't have any skills. We didn't have any tools. We didn't have any knowledge. Some of us had a driver's license. Some of us didn't. What I would say is a lot of these things are things you can work on. You can work on getting that driver's license. You can work on getting the skills. You can work on getting the education. And if you will work on the things that you can work on, the other things will come along. And don't get me wrong, it's not just going to fall into your lap, but if you will work on the things that you can work on, look, you're in a great spot. If you're wanting to get into plumbing, man, you're on a plumbing channel where you can actually learn plumbing. Now, there's other channels out there that you can watch. There's other trades out there. Me, I love plumbing. I think plumbing is phenomenal. I think it's been good for me in my career. It's been good for everything that I do in life. But I mean, look at Chris over at Construction Cronies. He's a carpenter. Okay. Look at Paul Peck. He's a drywaller. And man, I know both these guys and look, and we love what we do. We have fun at it. So you don't have to have all the skills in the world to get started. I think I've got videos on my channel about how to read a tape measure, how to use a tape measure. go get in my free mini course. Do that first. That way you figure out what kind of plumber, what kind of tradesperson you want to be. And I think that'll help you a lot. That helps everybody, because then they get to figure out what the different types are: commercial or residential, union or non-union, service or new construction, a lot of different things. Justin says, hello, I want to run a water line about 100 feet from my house to a dog lot for a house hookup. Do you know a good way to keep the line and spigot from freezing in the winter? Number one, Justin, I'd ask where you're located. Know what your freeze line is, because no matter where you're at, you're going to have to be buried below it. Here in Texas, freeze line's 12 inches. We bury water lines at about 18. Up north, New York, Wisconsin, stuff like that, they're anywhere from like 3 to 6 or 8 feet deep. So be careful and make sure you're digging it deep enough, no matter what you do. I'm going to jump over into the chat real quick. Liz, if you'll looky there, she was ready and waiting. I love it. I'm gonna bounce back and forth. I do want to answer some questions from the chat, just because, man, I've already got almost 40 questions in the forum. And don't get me wrong, I normally get up to about 60 or 70. So I've got plenty of time to get in there and talk and answer questions. But every now and then, I'm going to jump back over in the chat just to see any good questions. And Liz is really looking for some good ones. This one says, what is a good way to get into plumbing at an early age? I'm 15, 16 in April. I'm a huge fan of your channel. It's super useful to me. Number one, mini mechanic. I love that. Here's what I'll tell you is you're doing great right now. Get in here and learn everything that you can. I've got links to the UPC study guide. I don't know if it may still be a little bit too early to start studying the study guide, but the cool thing about it is I guess you'll hear my dog. The cool thing about it is, look, being in here and watching and learning from these videos is going to help you. You're going to understand things a lot of people don't. And if you'll go to my channel and go to that free mini course, it'll help you figure out what type plumbing you may want to do one day. And figuring all that is going to be huge for you. Sorry, I know my table's moving. I had to move around. I put my leg on it, so it kind of messed me up. Go ahead and give me that. Super chat here from Realistic Thinking. Just got a welder. Anyone got some good tips? Man, learn pipe welding. And I say that because if you can get into the union and learn pipe welding, or you can join the union and then learn pipe welding. But I tell you what, welders make good money, and that's always been one big phrase of the union. Whoever owns the welders owns the work. Because when you're running big jobs, you need welders. You need good welders. And man, a great welder is a good thing to have. Man, they're worth their weight in gold. And I got to tell you, a great welder, if you're a superintendent, great welder is phenomenal. When you get one that sucks, or you get a pipe fitter that sucks, man, they can completely ruin a job for you. So all I'll say is, man, if you got that welder, learn how to use it, get the skills down, and then start learning how to do pipe. It'll change your life. It's pretty cool. All right, let's see where I'm at here. Justin, I don't know how deep you are, man. Next one, Logan says, in regards to labor unions that have the problems you've mentioned, what possible solutions do you think could address these issues and make the unions better, where they leave things to be desired? You know, man, this is a great question. I got to tell you, I like that. Logan, my thing is, I think the union should listen more to the people complaining. You know, that they tell the people who to vote for, but then when those people are out of work, you know, they say, look, we're doing everything we can do. You know what? They're not real worried about it, because they're not losing a paycheck. It ain't bothering them at all. And to me, these are the people that they represent. These are the people that are actually paying them that money, because even when you're not working, they want you to pay your dues. They want you to do everything you're supposed to do. But to me, the cool thing about it is, I think that the union could literally start working more towards residential. I think that would be smart for them. I think that they should use social media to grow in a positive way. They use social media, but they're just trying to sell you the union. They're just trying to sell you on why they're great. And to be honest, they're not great. They're good. And I don't mean it bad because they've got work to do. I think when you saw, Mark McManus complaining about what Biden did, it just shows you the state of the union. Hey, we're going to let our members know that, man, we're not happy about it. He told you he was going to do it. What are you not happy about? That you weren't smart enough to listen? I mean, that blows my mind. And then you're going to make a video and cry about it. Guys, y'all got to change things. If you want to be a strong union, grow a pair. Okay? Get out and do what's right for your members, not what's right for you, not what you think's right, not your old school democratic self. Look at who the best people are and vote for them. So there's a lot of things that can be done to make the union better. I think the way they do recruiting is crazy. They send hundreds of people out to a city to pepper a town and go to job sites and companies and try and recruit. Bad thing is I talk to more people in 1 month than they talk to all year long. Learn to use social media. It's kind of crazy, but let me tell you what, it works. The world can be a better place if you give people good information. But you know what? Answer the bad questions too. Are you upset that Biden did what he did? Yeah, you're upset. Okay. You know what? Wow, we really thought he'd look at it better, and I know Mark said that. But at the end of the day, you know what? He told you he was going to. He says, hey, look, I'm canning this. And I don't care how many UA members y'all got sitting on his advisory committee. That doesn't mean he's going to do what they say to do. He knows what he wants to do. And are the people that are sitting on that committee telling him the things they need to be telling him? So there's a lot of different ways to look at it. But, man, I think the union needs to focus on growing its membership. They need to make the training better. They need to moderate the classes better. They need to get in and find out what teachers are really instructing, who comes out of those classes and is a great journeyman. And, man, that's a big difference because a lot of people just turn out. A lot of people just go to class. They just want to be a journeyman. They don't care about doing the work. And a lot of the training instructor directors make the instructors get them through. That blows my mind. If they're not worth it, cut them loose. Man, I'm preaching today. Sorry about that, people. But when I saw that video last night, that blew my mind. Joey Ruiz says, how can I get into plumbing, or should I become a plumber? Man, absolutely become a plumber. I think it's a great trade. Austin Chadwick's right. Don't forget to hit the like button. If y'all like what we're doing in here, man, give us a thumbs up. Let us know. I know that there's about 140 people in here right now, so we got a good crowd in here. Number one, thank you all for being here. If you haven't done it yet, please go down to the bottom and subscribe. Ring the bell. That way you see what all's going on. And, man, we talk plumbing here every week. Love having y'all here. And we also put up 3 videos a week. So I hope that there's something there that you like. So, Joey, what I'll tell you is start off by going to my YouTube channel. Top right-hand corner, there's a link to the free mini course. Go check it out and find out what kind of plumber you want to be. Once you figure that out, then I've got other videos to tell you how to become a plumber, how to get a job as a plumber, and do different things. Let me jump back over into the chat real quick. I think Liz has some questions going on over there. Tom says, hey, Roger, what material do you suggest for C1 test? Recommendations other than IPC and UPC? Man, I don't just recommend the IPC and the UPC code books. I recommend the study guides and the illustrated training guides. And Tommy, if you haven't seen those, check them out. I think that there's great information in them. And I really, to me, anybody taking any kind of a plumbing exam needs to look at those. And it's not just one, it's both of them. It literally, man, it makes all the difference in the world because getting in and studying the right stuff is huge. Give me another one there, Miss Liz. Thank you. Darnell says, Roger, did you have to pay to get out of the union? The answer is no. And I'm really lucky that I got out when I did. If I'd have stayed longer than 5 years, I would have had to. And actually, it was funny because when I got out, the business manager was telling me, well, we'll have to get together and look and see what all this is going to cost you and what you're going to have to do and what all this and what all this. And, man, I got to tell you, I wasn't real happy because I'm like, look, I've done paid y'all a buttload of money. And, they called me back and said, hey, look, you hadn't been in a full 5 years, so it's not going to cost you anything to get out. So, no, it did not cost me anything to get out, thank God. I wouldn't have been real happy about it. I wouldn't have been happy at all. Okay, next question over in the forum. Kenan says, how did you grow your mustache? You know what? Luckily for me, from the age of 15 up, I've been able to grow a full beard. Now, don't get me wrong, at 15, it wasn't this thick and good looking or gray. But the cool thing about it is I've always been able to grow facial hair. And I remember showing up at football practice my freshman year, I had a beard. And that's kind of strange to show up at my high school as a freshman with a beard. And it's funny because people are like, hey, who's that old man over there? But, man, luckily for me, facial hair is something I've never had a problem growing, which is good because I always knew when I was young that I wanted it. But it is what it is. I can do it. Let's give me another question there, if you would. All right, Richard Fasastal. What is the weirdest thing you found in a pipe? Well, in my crack pipe, never mind. That's not true. No. The worst thing or weirdest thing is, I've found a dead squirrel. I found a dead bird. Things that come down in the vent and get caught, and they get clogged up in a line trying to get out and things like that. So that's probably the weirdest things that I found in the pipe. And Liz, go ahead and give me one more there. Okay, Richard again also wants to know, what are your 5 most used tools? I've got an iPhone with some apps on it that I use, a flashlight, a pencil, a tape measure, channel locks, and a crescent wrench. And those are things that normally I've either got in my pocket on me at all times. If y'all hadn't seen my videos about my go bag, it's a bag that I got from Ferguson. And I put together because these are what I like walking into the house with. And I got to tell you, they make all the difference in the world. And, man, it's it's tools that you need all the time. But it's also one that when you walk into a house and carry it with you, you're definitely good to go. Give me one more, Liz, and I'm going to jump back over into the forum. What are good ways to learn about plumbing if you don't work for a plumbing company? Sulky86 or Sulky86, man, you're in a great spot. Man, right here. Actually, if you'll go through my YouTube channel and watch videos, we've got over 550, we're at almost 600 videos now, I think. And what I'll tell you is that we've got videos that teach you about getting into the trades, about running a business, and about how to do a lot of things. So what I would tell you is learn it. And if you really want to learn plumbing, watch these videos, learn it, and you'll figure it out. It will really make all the difference in the world. Man, all kinds of crazy ideas there, but it's learning this trade is phenomenal. Back in the forum, Mr. Robert Beasley says, what is the biggest pipe wrench you have used? A 48. I've got one right here on the shelf. I've actually got another one right down here below me. And these are real pipe wrenches. This is a 48-inch steel pipe wrench, and I shouldn't have picked it up with my detached bicep, but I did. So getting it back down will be a lot of fun. But this 48-inch pipe wrench, man, I've got it because we use it. Now, we don't use it very often. Yeah, any other plumbers in here, do me a favor and put in what your top 5 tools are. If you're a plumber and you do it, do me a favor, go in there and put what your top 5 tools are. Sorry about that. So anyway, all right, I've already answered some of these questions. I'm going to go back over into the forum real quick. Robert says, okay, just got that one. So you asked that 2 different places, maybe. Next. Preston says, man, that is a mile long. I was just at my neighbor's house with Roto-Rooter. It's a long story. Keep it short. They have been there a few times. Problem keeps occurring, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, I don't have time to read all this. So here's what I want to tell you is, yeah, definitely get a camera. I just kind of skim through it. You want to call a plumber. And number one, I don't know why Roto-Rooter's not cameraing it. You know, anytime we go out and do a drain cleaning, we try to run a camera because we want to look and see what's causing the problems. So what I will tell you is, look, I hate sending people to do something over again at a house, and that's why we run a camera, and we do it free. It's part of us cleaning out the drain. Neil should have known. Red Bull, YouTube, 2 more Red Bulls, an electrical test meter. You are all over it. And see, guys, read these comments down here because, you know, I tell you what, a lot of things are for me. And look, tape measure, crescent, mini channels, mini screwdriver, and a multi-screwdriver and a flashlight. So, you know, a lot of these things, we're all doing a lot of the same things. I like this. Bear Scouting says, I once pulled a Barbie out of a 2-inch pull skimmer suction line. Dad was happy to have flow again, and daughter was happy you found her missing baby. Absolutely. All right. Back over into the forum. Give me a couple more here, and I will jump back over into the chat. Yusufa Nai, hope I got that right. I've always admired about your online courses of planning. Want to ask if you have some books available for beginners like us in plumbing. Thank you for your time. You know, I don't, there's not really a lot of books available that I think for beginners, but I will tell you this. The cool thing is the UPC study guide, the things that I recommend, these are things that are going to help. Watching these videos, to me, the reason I make these is, to me, this is the greatest education you can get. You can literally watch a master plumber, someone who is doing things right, watch them get in here, watch them do things the right way. And I know that I'm not spending as much time in the field as I used to. We are trying to get me back in the field a little bit more and do some different things like that. But man, I got to tell you, the neat thing about it is that watching somebody do plumbing is a good way to learn it. But there's a lot of things that I do that you can do at home. Like you see me pull and reset a toilet. You know what? If you've got a toilet at home, pull and reset it. Don't break it. Go slow. Do easy. And the other cool thing about it is, you know, take apart your disposal. And I just mean disconnect it, take it out, clean it up, put it back in, do different things like that. There's so many things that you can do to learn how to do plumbing. And a lot of it's things that I teach, but you can do it at home. So you're good. Thank you for the super chat from Neil, the Urban Explorer. Says, I have to confess to the group, I'm addicted to buying torches. I can't help it. They're just so shiny. And Neil, man, I got to tell you, I love my torches. I've got a turbo torch, a pressure light. I've got oxygen acetylene rigs, all kinds of cool stuff. The cool thing about it, though, is you know what? In our line of work, in your line of work, it's a write-off. So, yeah, my B-tank setup is shiny. Man, it is so cool. Okay, Steve Harloa says Three Stooges plumbing episode is my favorite. There you go. Go ahead, Liz. Okay, so it says, what is the worst plumbing job you've ever had? The worst one I had was director of operations for a big mechanical contractor, but it was because me and the owner were on completely different pages. They wanted to BS people, and I wanted to do things right. Hate to say that, but that's kind of the truth. One of the plumbing jobs that I did not do is I got called out to unstop a toilet one time, and these people did not care about anything. They had been using that toilet for a month with it being stopped up. And I just said, yeah, I'm not going to deal with this. And, I called my company that I work for and said, hey, y'all need to get somebody else out here. I'm not doing it. And I didn't do it. So anyway, those are probably some of the worst plumbing jobs that I've ever had. Didn't like it and didn't do it. All right. Next one here. Cameron Chapman says, how do you stay clean? What was your worst fecal experience? I got to tell you, if you are in a position, and I commented on a video today on TikTok, if y'all have not seen our TikTok, please go over and follow us on TikTok at Roger Wakefield. Actually, we're on TikTok and Instagram. Just look for Roger Wakefield. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, and we're on YouTube. Also on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Nope. On Facebook, YouTube, you can find the Trade Talks. And you can also find, some of the greatest and worst plumbing pictures and videos on Reddit at Roger Wakefield Posts. And guys, I recommend going over there and checking it out because there's some crazy stuff over there. And that's where we get a lot of the videos and pictures for our stuff. And man, here's what I'll tell y'all. If y'all are in here and you're a plumber, what I'll tell you is if you do great work, go over to Reddit and post some pictures or videos of your work. I have people all the time asking me, Roger, you always pull up the bad pictures. Would you show us the good stuff? So man, I'm looking for great plumbing to show people. Go over there, give me your pictures and videos, and we'll get it up here. Go ahead and give me that one, Liz. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about this. And Hayden, this is one that I talked about a minute ago. I literally, and this is my first service plumbing job. And the bad thing about it is I was still young. I knew that it was the late 80s, so there were plumbing jobs everywhere. And actually, it was the mid 80s. There were plumbing jobs everywhere. Literally, one time I quit two different companies in one day. I had three different jobs in one day. The job I went to in the morning, my foreman made me mad. I drug up, loaded my tools, drove to the job site next door, got hired. I think they had offered me $2 an hour more. By lunch, I realized how bad they were, and I knew that I didn't want to work with them. So that afternoon, I drove to the next job site down. They were building condos up and down I-30. And anyway, 3 jobs in one day. The only job I've ever walked out on, though, is that one. So I walked in and I saw a toilet. I mean, the poop and toilet paper were piled. They had a trash can that they had not carried out. And I mean, literally, when you walked in the front door of the apartment, you could smell it. And I just walked in, and the girl didn't even get up. She says, it's back there. And I walked in, I walked back there, and I looked at it and walked back out. She said, where are you going? I said, well, I need to go call the office. So I walked out and called them and said, hey, you need to get somebody over here. I ain't doing this. That's the worst I've ever seen. And man, I got out of there. So how do I stay clean? And what was your worst fecal experience? That's my worst fecal experience too. That's why I kind of tied that together. Got a super chat from SMB Movie Wonka sequel official YouTube channel. Man, name might be just a little long. That's a big one. Can you watch the Super Mario Brothers movie and compare Mario and Luigi's plumbing skills to real life plumbing? I will subscribe to your channel. It's really funny that you put that in there because I was thinking about this just the other day. And Editor Grayson is in here, and he is really, really good. I actually want to do a video, Grayson, if you're still in here, where I interview Mario and Luigi, if that's a possibility, or where I'm in a game with them. And I know we've talked about that before, and that's going to take us a little while. But man, I got some other stuff that I want to do. So I'm telling you, SMB movie Wonka sequel official YouTube channel, man, subscribe because you're going to see some cool stuff. And thank you for the super chat. Next question in the forum says, what is your advice on improving your skills in the field as an apprentice? And I love this because as an apprentice, this is where you have an opportunity to shine. Because as an apprentice, man, you can learn so much. And I knew I always had a good apprentice. When I needed something and I'd be like on a ladder and I'd look down, they're standing there with it and they've got it and they're handing it to me. They're ready to go before I am. So I thought that was fantastic. So what I'll tell you, if you really want to be a good apprentice, learn to get ahead of your journeyman. Look at your journeyman and think where he's going to be next and what he's going to need next. What can you have ready for him? What can you have that will help him do his job better? Because when you can come up with that and keep that in front of him, you make the day go by so fast and you help him so much get done. And that, my friend, makes everybody look better. So good luck with that. Next one in the forum. Brian Swanson says, have you ever used trigonometry and algebra as a plumber? Very little. And it's really funny because I have a lot of people that say they're really scared to get into plumbing because of the math. The math isn't that hard. And it's not anything that you can't figure out. So anything as hard as trig and algebra, you may use it, the very basics of it a little bit, but not much. Man, normally it's adding or multiplying decimals or fractions. And, you know, there's calculators out here these days that'll do most of that for you. Even the trig and algebra. So what I'll tell you is math really is not a reason not to get into plumbing. There's not that much of it. And the parts of it that are there, man, you're going to learn, and it's not going to be really hard to do. All right, one more here in the forum, then I'll jump back over in the chat. Shedley Faustin says, what plumbing math books and resources do you recommend? In the description of most of my videos, I've got a link to my UPC study guide. Sorry about that. I went blank. They've got a great math section in it, and I love it because it's plumbing math. It is all plumbing math, and it teaches you to figure out, power square, how many inches or gallons of water are in a cylinder. What's the pressure at the bottom of a piece of pipe? So many different things, but it's all related to plumbing. So if you really do enjoy plumbing, you really are going to enjoy it. And it makes it fun. It makes it fun to learn. And man, I got to tell you, it makes it interesting because it's like, you know how to do things that a lot of people don't know how to do. And it's not hard. It's just learning the right formulas, learning how to do the math. And like I said, guys, this isn't hard math. This is easy math. I tell people all the time, look, I'm a plumber, so this is plumber math to me. But, man, we can figure this stuff out. So, anyway, it's actually pretty cool. Liz, give me one there, girl. Tom Anderson says, has the plumbing pandemic hurt your business in any way, or are you still as busy as before? Tom, this is a great question because it has hurt us this last week. This last week, Julie and I were at home with COVID. 3 of my plumbers have been out, 2 with strep throat, 1 with COVID. So, man, it definitely kills your business when you don't have plumbers to go run the calls. So that's how it's hurt it. I will tell you this, we are busy, and the bad thing is we've had to turn down a ton of calls because of COVID. We either don't have enough plumbers or we can't get to them quick enough or things like that. Nowadays, like today, where we've got almost everybody back, we're covered up and can't get caught up. So it's tough. Go ahead, Miss Liz. Ron McCabe says, Roger, what is the best PEX fittings for maximum water flow? Am I better to use the press fittings or the expansion tool? Here's my thing, Ryan, is number one, I love the expansion tool. I love going Upanor because you go to a larger fitting, you expand the pipe, and it shrinks down. It doesn't have a reduced size fitting. The big problem is when you go to the PEX and the crimp and stuff like that, those are reduced size fittings because they go inside of the pipe and the PEX squeezes on it. And if you've got to put too many 90s in there, you can literally create a flow restriction to the house or to even a certain fixture in the house. And that's not a good thing to do. So anyway, man, good way to look at it. Thank you to the super chat from Raymond. Raymond says, never thought anyone could make plumbing this interesting and how different. Seems from here in Denmark. I love that. Welcome. Best of luck in the future. Raymond, number one, thank you for being here. And thank you for the super chat. I got to tell you, I love plumbing. And I love the fact that we get people from all around the country in here. So, you know, and I hadn't done this in a while. I know our channel changes a lot, people coming in and out. Everybody do me a favor and put hashtag wherever you're from. And I don't mean that. I mean like hashtag Dallas, Texas. So put hashtag where you're from in there. And if you're part of a union, put what union you're in, what number, like local 100, Dallas, Texas, or local 100, plumbers and pipe fitters. Because we get a lot of people in here, and man, a lot of people with the names that we have for our channels, we don't always know who each other is. So I just got to tell you, man, I love the fact that we get people from all around the world in here. We talked about a little bit earlier. I've started a new YouTube channel. It's called The Trade Talks. If y'all haven't done it yet, go over there and subscribe, just because we're going to be doing things over there with all the trades, and it's really going to be pretty cool. And we've got about 300 subs, and we hadn't even put a video up yet, but we've been talking about it for a little bit, so I'm looking forward to it. Man, we got London in the house. I like this. I'm going to mess up your name, Ikno Ukno. I hope I got that right. Realistic Thinking says he had COVID a few months ago. Now you have smell hallucinations. Man, no smell hallucinations, but I got to tell you what, I lost my smell and taste buds. I'm just now getting them back, or just now getting my taste back, and I'm glad that I've got it back. Raymond, thank you, sir. I appreciate the super chat, and good luck to you. All right, over in the chat real quick. Arizona, Laredo, Texas, Colorado Springs. Silver Boy is in Dallas, Texas. Me too. Atlanta, Local 72. Good to have you in the house. Hashtag wherever you're from. Sea Saltine Cracker, I knew somebody was going to do it. Yeah, COVID can cause some extra sales, but you've also got to be careful and take care of your people, and that's what we're really working hard to do. Steve Harloha, I love that. From Oahu, good to have you in here. Kentucky, Ohio, not a plumber. Indiana, Wichita, Kansas, North Hollywood, non-union HVAC. Good for you, Sean. Sean Asma. Sean, how are you? You're not related to anybody I know, are you? Ron McCabe says, Sean, thank you. I have the press tool. I'm thinking of getting an expansion tool. Copper press goes on the outside of pipe. Yes, it does. Yeah, and a press is cool. I did a video today on the, the rigid RP350. I got to tell you, man, I love the press tools. I think it's going to save so much labor on jobs that we're all going to go to it. Daniel Myron, thank you for the super chat. Says, what do you think about Mega Press and Pro Press fittings for copper and gas? I got to tell you, I love them. I think that they're phenomenal. I really like the fact that it saves so much labor. And I was just talking a while ago, I did a video earlier on the Rigid 350. Look, I think the press tools are phenomenal. I like them better than people going ProPEX where they're reducing the size of the fittings. Now, I like Uponor as much as I like PEX. So I think that we've all got a great opportunity here. Get the tools that'll help you save money and make money. Because when you're making more money, life is good. I want to say hello to Flores Fam from Austin, Texas, and Miguel Barrera from Local 68. See, I control my R's. I'm actually working on my Spanish again, y'all. I know that's kind of crazy. 8 Ada from Amsterdam, Hamilton, Ontario. I think I've got friends in Hamilton. Pretty neat. I'll scroll back up just a little bit. It jumped on me again. Denton, Texas in the house. You got to love that. Arizona, not Local 469. I'm a DIYer. I've never soldered before. I want to repop the bathroom. Should I solder or use push fitting? I would rent the Uponor and use push fittings. The Uponor expands. You put the fitting in and it contracts. You're not going to have any flow restriction. I think you'll love it. Neil, thank you for the link to the Trade Talks YouTube channel, guys. If you hadn't gone over it, go check it out. It is pretty cool. And like Sean Strong said earlier, man, if you have not followed or subscribed to the subreddit, Roger Wakefield Posts, go over there and check that out. It is amazing. So Daniel, I love the Mega Press and the Pro Press both. I think they are phenomenal. All right, I'm going to jump back over in the forum for just a little bit, so give me a minute. Mr. Robert Gomez says, what's going on with the Texas license change? I'm unlicensed in California, but moving to Texas in the summer. I have my apprentice card for Texas, but does it even matter now? Absolutely, and it's so neat. I got a phone call today from the new chair of the Texas State Board, and he wanted to talk about plumbing. He says, look, man, I know that you're really active in the community and just want to talk to you about it. Seemed like a great guy. I've got to find the link to the board meeting. January 20th, I detached a bicep, had an eye doctor. Man, I had all kinds of things going on. I couldn't have made the board meeting at all, and I really did want to. But, you know, here's what I'll tell you is, yes, you definitely need your apprentice license. You're going to need to get in here and get your hours. If you've got any plumbing hours in California, get the documentation right now. Go to the people that you work for. Try to get them to document. Like if they're master plumbers or plumbing company contractors, things like that, get everything documented that you can. It will help you when it comes time for you to get your license here, and you may be able to get credit for hours that you've actually worked in California. Perfect. Let me answer one more in the forum, then we'll jump back over in the chat for just a few minutes. Craig Close says, hi, Roger. Have you ever met Richard the Plumber from This Old House? What's your opinion on the show? You know what? I have met Richard Treadway. Actually met him at KBiz. I've actually got a picture of Richard and I. And, you know, Richard's a nice guy. He seems like it in person. I don't like everything that he does on This Old House. I've seen things over there that I wouldn't do. But, you know, different parts of the world. He loves shark bite fittings. I don't. Like I said, there's a lot of different things that I wouldn't do. I don't think it's good to teach homeowners to do things like that. But, man, the one thing that I'll tell you is he seems like a really good guy. I've met him, talked to him, so think he's fantastic. But look, all of us plumbers, there's people in the chat that don't do things that I do, and they do things that I wouldn't do. But it doesn't mean we're any of us are bad people. It just means, look, I do things a certain way. They do things a certain way. And, I had somebody send me a message the other day. They were mad because I told plumbers that they shouldn't be using shark bite fittings for customers. Okay, get mad at me. That's how I feel. If you're a trained professional, do it in a professional way. And I don't think shark bites are professional. All right. Do I have a regular pickup truck or one with utility boxes? I just have a regular truck, but I don't run service calls out of my truck. I got a big old jacked up black 4x4 Chevy truck. Spicy flu wrecking the world. Boy, isn't that the truth. One from Oklahoma. All right. Tom Anderson says, you do not have enough plumbers. If I were to move down to Texas, can I get an interview? You know what, Tom, if a licensed plumber moves to Texas and they have experience with residential service, we had a guy call today who's interviewing. I don't remember where he's coming from, Michigan, but yeah, absolutely. Let me see. Houston Local 68. Man, we got a lot of people in here. It's a good thing. More Oklahoma. The difference is the I know you're not sure about that. I don't think that I can even view that. Yeah, not good. All right. You got a question you need to bring up over here, Grayson, or are you doing okay, brother? I'm doing okay. All right. I got plenty of them in the chat. I mean, in the forum. I love that. Give me just a few minutes and I'll get back to you if you want to find one and get it ready. Okay. Dalton Mullins says, do you prefer installations or repairs? Me personally, I love repair. And that's part of my YouTube, my free mini course. I tell people all the time, go in and figure out what kind of plumber you want to be. Do you like to build things? Do you like to fix things? Do you like being on the same job for a long, long time, or do you like possibly being on multiple jobs in one day? Do you like union or non-union? I give you all the pros and cons of it. So that free mini course is really pretty cool. It'll help you figure out a lot of things. And I like that comment. Get mad at me too. Not a shark bite fan at all. Rich, brother, I'm right there with you. All right. So I prefer repairs. That's why I have a residential service company. And I love it. I love the fact we get to get out and help people. Joshua Peters says, what is the best way to get into plumbing at a young age? I think we answered this one earlier. Start at the top, get into the YouTube channel, go to the top right-hand corner, go to the free mini course, and, man, figure out what kind of plumber you want to be. It'll help you out. Any idea how airplane toilets work? Yeah, realistic thinking, they actually work on suction. There's a little bit of water that sprays it all down, but there's a vacuum in there that sucks it all out. So, man, that is exactly how it works. Next question in the forum is from Isaac Hupp. Are there supposed to be more than one P-trap for one sink? Each trap is supposed to carry one sink. So if you've got two sinks, you can carry two. Now a multiple compartment sink depends on if you're doing an open site drain or what. But, what you're trying to do is you're trying to keep sewer gases from coming back up through the sink. So you always want to look at it that way and see if you're doing the best possible thing that you're doing for the homeowner, for the business owner, whatever, to make sure things are done right. Kevin says, what specifically caused you to leave the union? Did you speak with any international reps about the promises not being met by your local? I actually went beyond the international reps. I went straight to one of the directors and talked to him, and he said, Roger, look, we can't control what every single local does, which to me, I was really disappointed in hearing. The reason being is I look at it like this. Chick-fil-A has control of what happens at every single Chick-fil-A across the country. They train their people right. And if the union is letting people be business agents and business managers and, local union reps and things like that, they need to be trained on the right way. If they're not, they've got the inmates are running the asylum. And it's a bad way to put it, but man, it is true. So Kevin, I didn't try to go crying to everybody. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I called the highest up people that I knew because I wanted them to be aware of the problems. And they literally just told me, yeah, there's a problem, but it's your problem. There's not a lot we can do about it. And man, I really feel bad for the union because I think the union has a great opportunity, but I don't think they're ever going to take advantage of it. Brendan says, at my work, I noticed in the parking lot once what looked like toilet paper coming out of the blue pipe in the ground. Told facilities about it. However, they didn't seem concerned. A few weeks later, basement floor drain flooded out. Yep, man. Hey, backups happen, guys. And yeah, there could still possibly be a backup somewhere. It happens if you report it to people and they don't do anything about it. You might want to report it to somebody else. So see what they can figure out. Joshua, thank you for being a fan of the channel, man. I appreciate that. Alex says, I'm a 32-year-old mechanic. I make a decent money, but I've always been interested in being an electrician or a plumber. Is there any way to get into it without going way backwards in pay? Man, it depends. If you can come in and explain to them, look, I'm mechanically inclined. I can do a lot of things. How would you feel if I got into work at your garage as a mechanic and I didn't have to go back to the beginning? They started me out higher. I mean, I know how to change brakes. I know how to do some things. I don't know that, here's the thing. If you come in making more money, you're going to be compared to those people. And if you can't keep up with them, it's going to cost you in the long run. You're probably going to have to take a pay cut and at least come back to, I'm going to say, 15 to 17, 18 bucks, somewhere around in there. But if you're really mechanically inclined and you're good at what you do and you learn fast, I think you'll move up pretty quick. Flores Fam says, why do my water connections in the toilet sink get gunk up with white residue in Belton, Texas? Flores Fam, it's because you have hard water. You need to think about an anti-scaler. The calcium and magnesium, man, they build up on everything, shower heads, aerators. But what you're seeing that it's doing there, chances are it's also doing inside your ice maker, your washing machine, your dishwasher, anything at all. So, man, that hard water can cause problems, so be very careful. All right, back over in the forum. Daniel says, what's your opinion on mega press fittings for copper and gas? I already got that one. That's a good one, and I love it. Hayden says, what's the best way to deal with techs and journeymen you can't stand writing with? Asking from an apprentice perspective. And this is really a good question because I know that there are a lot of apprentices out there that get stuck with a bad journeyman. And man, number one, I feel for you. Number two, man, I always tell people you may want to go talk to the owner of the company and say, hey, look, I'm really wanting to learn this, and I don't know that I'm getting a very good education here. But be careful how you say that. They may just get rid of you, especially if that journeyman is making them money, if that journeyman gets a lot of great reviews, whatever it is. The thing that I want you to think about is you're learning from these journeymen whether you realize it or not. Even if it's what you're learning is that's not the kind of plumber you want to be. And I hate to say it, but man, it's tough. Sean Strong, what do you think about it? I see you're in here. If you've got somebody that doesn't like the journeyman they're riding with, what would be your recommendation to them? All right. So we got Stan Chubbuck in here. Good to have you in here, brother. Kyle says, I have a weird basement bathroom that has ducts right above and a fan, I guess, in the bathroom. Any renovation ideas to make it less weird? You know, you might be able to put a drop-in ceiling, something like that. Not sure how weird it is. And see, this is the kind of thing here. I tell people, look, take pictures of this, go over to the subreddit, Roger Wakefield posts, put it in there. And man, those are the kind of stuff where we can see it, look at it, talk about it, get some ideas, and go forward from there. Lee Taylor says, do you do HVACR work? Do you have separate certificates? We do. And this is really a good question because this is one that I actually get asked a lot. And I've got a master plumbing license with a WSPS endorsement, MedGas endorsement, a multi-purpose residential fire protection system, and I'm an RMP. So I've got every master endorsement that there is. I am also an HVAC certified technician. Now, I don't have my TACLA license, so I can't go out and advertise and do big jobs and get inspections or stuff like that. But it's something that I've thought about doing, and that's why I got my HVAC certification. I need to just go ahead and get my TACLA license and do it. Man, I'm just kind of busy. I got a lot going on. I think Joe and Amber both just said thank you for not doing it, Roger. Christopher Brewer says, I'm 37 years old, looking to make a career change from commercial banking to plumbing. What is your advice to someone making a start in plumbing kind of late in the game? Man, there's nothing wrong with making that change late in the game. If it's something you know you're going to do it sooner than later. If you're in commercial banking, I'll tell you, this probably only starts out at about $35,000 a year. Pretty close to that, 30 to 35. But I'm telling you, in 2 years, you can make great money. So if it's something that you can afford to do for a while, it's phenomenal. I think you'll love it for the rest of your life. And man, to me, that makes it all worthwhile. Working on that bicep. As y'all know, I detached my bicep from my elbow. Wednesday, I go in, they drill a hole through my radius, reach up in through that hole, grab my bicep tendon, pull it down through it, put a button on the bottom of it, and pretty much I can't do anything for 6 weeks. Doesn't that sound like fun, y'all? One more here in the forum says, what's easier to put together, PEX or copper in America? I'm in Australia, so I'm not sure if it's different over there. Brett Bonham, good to have you in here. Number one, welcome from Australia. Sure I got that right? Yeah, Australia. I used to be a member of Green Plumbers, which I know started in Australia, so I think that's pretty cool. Here's the thing that I'll tell you. PEX is probably the easiest to put together just because you've got a crimp tool, you've got things like that. I like the expansion tool. I like the Uponor. So that's going to be probably even easier, to be honest. Copper is still great, and we've got press tools, solder, we've got all kinds of things. And really it just depends on what you feel most comfortable with, what you're good at, what your company likes doing. I don't mind my guys using ProPress at all. I don't mind them using Uponor at all. If they use PEX crimp, I want them to upsize it because of the flow restrictions created if they don't. Jeremy Grass says, my town talks about not flushing wipes. What's the problem with this? Here's the deal. Google Fatbergs, Fatbergs, I believe. Most baby wipes have plastic fibers in them that basically make it where you can't even pull them apart. And I think Sean knows I'm getting ready to preach here. What is this boomer sooner crap, Sean? Come on. Okay. And Marcus Stringle, I'm gonna tell you too. Flushable wipes. Look, I only use Cottonelle. The reason being, and I've done the test, Cottonelle does not have the plastic fibers in it that make it where it won't dissolve, it won't go away. And look, I've done tests, and that's what I ought to do is get in here and literally have us, I'll get in here and set up a video camera and we'll do some tests in here. But I got to tell you, the Cottonelle flushable wipes actually are flushable. They dissolve almost like toilet paper, so it really is kind of cool. And Sean, actually, I do want you to test it. I see your comment up here. And I did test it, and I've actually made, I don't know if I did the video or not. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just did that for a satellite media tour. Toasted Webs, thank you for the super chat. Get well soon. Man, I am trying. My smell is back. My taste is coming back. I'll say my smell's back. My smell and taste are both coming back. Every now and then I'll cough a little bit. It's really, there's just a tickle in my throat, nothing bad. So, man, I'm all excited about it and ready to go. Trevor Wells, it doesn't take long. Pray for us for having to put up with his restlessness. Boy, aren't you, Amber, you are all over it, girl. Back over into the forum. I still got lots of questions over here. Israel Delgado says, rigid flex shaft versus Picotti. You know what? I don't know what Picotti is. Hadn't seen it or messed with it. I'll tell you what, though. I love my rigid flex shaft. We've got the 204. I want to try the 306. Man, I got to tell you, we busted that thing out, and I think that's freaking pretty cool. I really, really like it. Again, Toasted Webs, thank you very much, brother. We are trying to get better, and it is slowly going away. Israel, man, that flex shaft is crazy. Dante said, what is more lucrative trade, electrical or plumbing? I think here in the United States, really, they're both about the same. You'll find maybe different areas of the country where one may make a little bit more than the other. It really depends on, man, how you get in, who you get in with. I would say go do my free mini course. Go to just the top right-hand side of my YouTube channel. It talks about plumb study. I've got a free mini course that literally it just helps you figure it out what makes you figure out what kind of tradesman you want to be, and I think it'll help you out a lot. All right, be careful with the all caps there, Trevor Wells. They'll boot you out. Actually, the freaking Nightbot will get mad at you. You don't want that to happen. It doesn't even let Grayson comment anymore. Cameron Chapman. Do condoms clog toilets? Man, they will clog toilets, urinals, bidets. I'm going to stop right there because my next comment would have got me in trouble. Yeah. You literally, here's what I tell people. You don't want to put anything in the toilet but puke, poop, pee, paper. Now, paper, look, when I can dissolve a flushable wipe like Cottonelle in the water and it'll fall apart like that, I'm good with that too. So, man, that's about it. It used to just be pee, poop, and paper, but puke made it in there too because it's all going down the sewer. Saltine cracker. I want to be a plumber when I grow up, and no kid ever. Man, isn't that the truth? You know, hey, it is what it is. It's still a lot of fun, and I got to tell you, I do. I enjoy it all the time. All right. Back over in the forum, Tom Anderson says, starting up my company in Vegas, best advice of study guides for the C1. You know, I love the UPC Illustrated Study Guide. I love the UPC Study Guide because with the Q&A, you know, what I do, and I've got a video on how I use it, Tom. I literally go in the back, look at all the answers, highlight the correct answer in the book, and then just read it like a book. And then I just go through and check myself, review myself later. But I talk about it all in a video. And I got to tell you, I love it. It literally, It has helped me get so many plumbers through the exam, and they always come back and tell me, oh my God, that was so easy. If you study it and do it right, it can literally be phenomenal. Next question in the forum, Alex Prothman says, as a trade channel, what did you get the most success out of in terms of what changes you've made to your channel along the way? You know what, Alex, man, I love this because, look, I literally started my YouTube channel to help make the phone ring at Texas Green Plumbing. Now, I'm not wearing a shirt now, but, y'all open up another tab and just go search Texas Green Plumbing. And look what I've done with my website. Look what I've done with the whole website, because I've got links to YouTube. I've got a lot of different things. But what I did is I started the channel to make the phone ring for my plumbing company. And it worked. And it really started working well. But then I started realizing I've got other people in my videos other than homeowners. I've actually got people that are in the trades, and I've got people that want to get in the trades, and I got people that want to get better. And really it was mainly plumbers. So we changed it to the expert plumber because of a contest that I had won with American Standard. And guys, this is why I make videos. I want to help people. So if you want help, if you want help getting in the trades, you want help being a better tradesman, you want help opening your own company, you want help using social media to help you grow it, that's what I started this channel for. And then once we started realizing, hey, I've got more than just plumbers in here, we changed it to Roger Wakefield so I could literally help a lot of the trades. And I got to tell you, that's kind of the changes we've made. We went from making videos for homeowners to making videos for tradesmen to make videos for all the different trades that want to get in, want to grow, and want to get better. And man, Alex, it has been phenomenal for me. I love it. I love the opportunity. I think that I am blessed to be put in the position that I'm in, and it's phenomenal. I want to say thank you for the super chat from Aiden Murray. How are you doing today? Says, hey, Roger, this is not a question, but I just want to say thank you because you are the person who inspired me to take a plumbing class at school. Aiden, number one, man, congratulations to you. I hope that, number one, I hope you enjoy the class or did if you've already done it. Look, plumbing can be a great trade for people. This can be a great living. You can literally make good money. You can always have work. You can always have the opportunity of owning your own business. There are so many good things that you can do in this trade to grow and raise a good family and make a good living. So, man, the opportunity's there. I hope that it works out, and I hope it really does good for you, man. Ethan Bobby 1234 says my website's great, and I got to tell you, and Ruan Marino normally jumps in here, and he's got a great YouTube channel too. But Ruan is my SEO guy. He is phenomenal. If you go check out Ruan Marino's YouTube page, he's got videos where he talks about what he's done for me, how he's done it, different things. He is amazing. And man, look, I love what the guy does. If he goes over there, make sure y'all tell him that I sent you over. Say hello and watch him. I don't know that I've ever had a better website person, and it's been good for me. So, Aiden, I hope that helped you out, man. All right. Brian says, what got you interested in plumbing? Great question, because this is literally one. I had a job in high school, and my junior year of high school, I really started messing up, started getting in trouble. But I worked with one of my best friends, and he just started talking to me one night. It was slow at work. We literally started just sitting around BSing. And he looked at me and he says, what are you going to do if you get fired or quit? And I'm thinking, man, I'm 16 years old. I'm a restaurant manager. I'm making good money. I was probably making $5-6 an hour, probably $5. And he looked at me. He said, man, you're 16 years old. Who's going to hire a 16-year-old restaurant manager? And that kind of blew my mind. But we literally started talking. He started telling me about his 3 older brothers and his dad that were all plumbers, and they loved it. And there was another thing we talked about that night. We talked about the fact that robots would never be able to do all the plumber's work. So there's always going to be work there. And I got to tell you, that really was pretty much a big deal for me. So it wasn't much longer. I either quit or I probably got fired. So I called one of his brothers and I went to work with him. That's what got me in plumbing. And I got to tell you, I love it because this has been great for me. It's been great for, man, just my mental attitude. I've always had a good job and I've always made a good living, and I do. I love it. Jason says, good evening. I'm a crane operator, rigger, and I love what I do. But question is, do toilets really go bad? I've replaced all the guts and the wax ring, but it still acts up as an overflowing, then doesn't flush right. The funny thing is, Jason, I would probably check the water, the hardness of your water. If you've got too much calcium and magnesium that can be building up in there, it can cause problems. Maybe too much pressure. There's a lot of different things that it could be, but yes, I promise you, toilets can go bad. And to be honest, it's not a good thing when they do. Abdul Rahman Zakaria says, is it better to unclog a really clogged pipe or just install a new one? If there's nothing wrong with the pipe and you can unclog it, you're going to wash all that down the sewer anyway. So unclogging it is great. Now, if it is cracked, if it's broken, if it's leaking, any different thing like that, if it's kind of scaly on the inside and you can't get it clean, which we were talking a while ago with the rigid flex shaft, man, with that, I guarantee you can get it clean. Other than that, man, I don't replace pipes unless they're broken and they need to be replaced. Vegeta says, hi, me again. So what happens if a sink starts spewing out junk? And if it does that, if there's a backup somewhere, you've got to figure out what's backing up. And if it's spewing out, it's because people are still putting water in it. So there's a lot of things you've got to do. But and at the end of the day, there's a clog somewhere that's got to be fixed. And if it ain't fixed, it's going to keep spewing out as long as people keep putting water in it. Harley Coulter says, what do you do when there's a really bad hair clog in your bathtub? I do 2 different things. Number one, I try to reach in through the shoe, through the lift and turn, through the drain assembly, whatever's there. Try to go in there with one of those nylon things that grab the hair and pull it out. Also pull the overflow and go in there with a sewer machine. I want to clean it out and get all that out. I'm telling you, man, when a tub drain is clogged, when that tub starts filling up with water while you're showering, it's always a pain. Go ahead and give it to me, Grayson. So anyway, if you've got problems in your tub, that's a great way to do it. Oh, this is a good one. CM Brewer 84 says, Roger, what do you think the future of plumbing is in terms of upcoming trends or major changes? And here's why I like this, because I've been telling people for a long time that supply and demand is what's going to hurt and help the plumbing trade. It's going to help plumbing company owners because there's less people getting into plumbing and there's more people retiring. So that's going to throw off supply and demand. And the cool thing about that is that means plumbers are going to be making more money. And I've been saying for a while now, I think in the next 5 years, plumbers are going to be making $100 an hour on the check. And I really do, because there's going to be a limited number of plumbers and a lot of people that need it. The population's growing. The amount of plumbers in the United States are not growing at the same rates. So what I've got to tell you is that this is a great time to get into plumbing because the future is going to be phenomenal. Because with less people getting in, more people getting out, it's really going to mean that plumbers are going to be able to make great money. Sean Strong says, are you familiar with the difference in UPC and IPC codes? The JHA is changing from UPC to IPC, and I don't know how I feel about it. IPC has really been pushing a lot to try to get all the AHJs to change. And for those of y'all that don't know, the AHJ is the authority having jurisdiction. So what I'll tell you is that there are some major changes. There's not or major differences. There's not a ton. Look, water still has to go downhill. So it's not major, but it's enough that you can tell it's a different code. Venting's different. Stacks are different. There's a lot of different things. Wet venting's different. So there's a lot of things to learn and change. It's just, for the most part, you can almost do it the same if you've been doing UPC. But there are definitely other things that you've got to look at. I want to say hello real quick to Eric Garanza and Eric G, brothers in the house. How are you, sir? It's good to have you in here. If y'all have not heard Eric G, Around the House with Eric G, his podcast is phenomenal. And, man, Eric is just doing cool things. So check him out. And matter of fact, click on his YouTube channel and go in there and subscribe and see what all he's got going on. So, Sean, look, man, Texas is trying to do the same thing. It's something we're dealing with. It's kind of funny because in Texas, each different area, each different municipality can go by whatever code they want to go by. So it's interesting. Isaac says, exactly what do you carry in your van? Well, I carry plumbing stuff. Exactly. Eric, I'm joking. We try to carry the tools and materials that we need to do any job. We have a pretty good truck stock list. When the plumbers stock it like they're supposed to, things are phenomenal. When they don't, we run short-handed. The really cool thing about it is we're continuously working on it, upgrading it, trying to make it better. So I really think that, man, we're doing good things. Neil, you be safe, brother. I appreciate you being in here. Yeah. Editor Grayson and Julie, man, they take care of us. Thank you for everything you do, brother. I promise. And those of y'all that have not subscribed to Neil the Urban Explorer, you definitely need to. And Around the House with Eric G, do that. I like this. Zeno999 says, hey, Roger, no question. Just want to say thank you. You helped me fix my toilet recently. Man, you are more than welcome. Thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Love seeing that. Love seeing that I help people. To me, that is the best part of what I do. And that's why, to me, that is really just such a wonderful thing. Back to you, Isaac. Man, I try to carry sewer machines, cameras, water heaters, toilets, anything that we may need for a job. I want to have it in there. And, man, I think that that's a big deal. I think that your van, and that's why we upgraded to bigger vans here recently. Your van should be a rolling warehouse. You should have most of everything in there that you would ever need, and it'll make your job so much better. Vincent Largo says, is it cheaper to have 2 water meter shutoff valves and pressure regulator valves installed at the same time by a plumber as flat rate hourly? Probably not. It's going to cost you more because you're paying for 2 of everything, and it's probably going to take him longer to do it. But I'm not sure why you'd want to have 2 installed unless it's 2 separate properties. But no, you're going to pay for it twice, no matter which way you go. Trevor Wells says, I'm a 14-year-old. I'm interested in plumbing. What should I do? Man, first of all, go to the top right corner of my YouTube channel. Check it out. Go to the free mini course and see what kind of plumber you want to be. There's a lot of different kinds of plumbers, and it literally, it's a funny thing because most plumbers had no idea what kind of plumber they wanted to be when they got in. But you can at least have an idea, and I promise you, it'll thank you or it'll help you very much. Sean just subscribed to Neil. You got to love it. All right. Tommy Batista says, what's up? My teacher plays some of your videos in class, and I've already watched them, but repetition is key. And Tommy, man, watching them over and over, and I know that sounds crazy, but you pick up something different each time. I go through training all the time. This last year, I've invested more money in training myself than just about anything, and it has really helped me a lot. It's been so beneficial. But I find out I learn more whenever I go back and listen to it the second or third times. I hear things I didn't hear before. So, man, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Number one, tell your teacher I said I appreciate them showing my stuff. I love it. And I hope all of y'all subscribed. Ethan Blackshaw says, is it hard to have a living wage for plumbing? If so, how much and how many hours work do you do? I tell you what, Ethan, I don't think it's hard. I literally, number one, I love plumbing, always have, but I've always made a good living at it. I've made over $100,000 a year, probably since about 99. And that's not bragging. That's just, man, it kind of is what it is. But I got to tell you, man, you can make a wonderful career at plumbing, a wonderful living. And if you're here in the United States, literally with supply and demand doing what it's going to be doing, plumbers are going to be making more money here in the next 5 years. So it's a great time to get in. If I could invest in plumbers like I can invest in stock, trust me, man, I think plumbers are going to be making great money. Gorilla Jake says, sorry if unrelated, but how hard would you say it is to find work as a laborer for plumbing specifically, but also for trades in general? I don't think it's very hard. Here in the Dallas area, there's dig crews that tunnel under houses. A lot of plumbing companies just hire laborers to go out and dig, to work around the shop, to clean trucks, to do a lot of different things. Jake, man, I don't think you'll have any problem that there's always people looking for somebody. So, number one, thank you for the super chat. But, man, I don't think you'll have any problem finding a job as a plumbing laborer. All right, Vincent Alargo. How would you save money if you had to hire a plumber to replace rusted water meter shutoff and install pressure regulator valve at once? My thing is I don't want to save money. I want them doing it right. That's what's going to be the biggest deal for me. Now, what you might try to do, you might be able to contact them and see if you can dig it up. If they'll come out and mark it, if you dig it. I've got to where I normally don't let people dig now because they want to dig just a narrow hole and they don't give me room to work. So that's kind of a problem that I have. I show people, look, if I'm laying a piece of pipe right here, I want the bottom of the ditch 3 feet wide and however tall it needs to be, 3 feet, whatever it is. And I mean, I need room to get in there, walk around, move around and work. And sometimes that's hard to do if the homeowner or somebody else digs their own hole. I normally don't let them do it anymore. And I hate to say it, but that's why I'm saying, Vincent, you might contact the company and ask them if that is something that they will do or if they allow. Simeon Sparrow says, the small company is losing money, especially on top outs. How do I find out exactly where, how to fix it, and how much to charge? Here's the deal. You've got to know your numbers. And what I mean by that is you've got to know what you're bidding for a top out, how many hours you're spending, and then you start looking at the people that are doing it. Are they being efficient? Do they have the tools they need? Are they going to the supply house a lot? There's a lot of different things that, man, you've got to be doing it all right. Now, you don't have to do every single thing right. You can mess up along the way, but your thing is continued improvement, constant improvement. You want to be working to get better at what you do every single day. That's the only way you're going to get to the point where you're making money all the time and things are going well. So, man, it's hard to stay on top of, but it's something you've got to stay on top of if your company is going to make money. Andy Murphy Says, for military veterans, are unions the way to go? Thanks. Andy, here's what I'll tell you is, and I love this question because I truthfully think that for vets, the union can be great. For vets, they've got the VIP training program. And if you've got any money on your GI Bill, they can use that GI Bill to help supplement your income while you're going through training. So there's a lot of different ways, but you still need to go through like the mini course that I've got and find out what kind of plumber do you want to be. Now, don't get me wrong. Look, I started out in commercial remodel, and I ended up in residential service. So I've done commercial, I've done new construction, I've been union. Now I'm residential, I'm service, I'm non-union. I've done it all. And that's why I love the fact I started a YouTube channel and started answering these questions, because I've done a little bit of everything. So I love it. Grayson says, Bren Stack says, is there a lot of work for plumbers in Florida? I got to tell you, there's a lot of work for plumbers all over the United States. And I mean that. It's literally, look, supply and demand is making it tough on all of us. Here in Texas, if a residential service plumber is good, man, I tell them, look, come, you will get a job. You want to move to Texas and get a job, you're going to get one. But what I'll tell you is that just because there's a ton of work and just because I bring people down and say, look, you'll get a job, man, you always want to work to be the best plumber you can be. You always want to strive to be better, to learn more. It bugs me when people, they get that plumbing license and then they stop learning. Then they're just like, hey, look, I got this. I know what I'm doing. I've got this. And my thing is, look, don't quit learning ever. So do anything and everything you can, but man, yeah, there's work everywhere. Go for it. That one right there. Hey, sir, could you give me some information about plumbing? Because I have an interview for the plumbing 3rd of February. I'm nervous. I don't know what to do. Number one, Marhai, here's what I would tell you is go look at the videos that I've got. I've got videos about, a plumbing interview and what questions to ask and things like that. I could spend the next 20, 30, 40 minutes going over it. I think you'll get more out of the video because you can rewind it and check it out. But, look, number one, if you're not subscribed to this channel, guys, I tell everybody, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you see when we're putting out new videos. I make these videos to help people. If you want to get in the trades, you want to get better at the trades, you want to open your own company, or you want to learn to use social media to grow your company, subscribe to this channel, because that's what we make content for. We make content to help people like you that want to learn, that want to grow, and want to get better. So go watch that video. Man, I give you literally in that video, I talk to you about how you dress, questions to ask, all kinds of things. So good luck. I really hope that helps. Marhawi Gebra Meskel. Man, good luck. I really hope that it works out for you. And a plumbing interview, man, I get excited about it. I love it. So I think that is cool. Ames says, is it normal for a master to yell at their helper or apprentice? Probably. The good thing is, I think most plumbers don't yell at apprentices. I know that my plumber used to yell at me freaking all the time. But as I learned, I got smarter. I got to where I could do more and it helped him more. So yeah, I know that they still do it. I don't think it happens near as much as it used to, but man, hopefully you can find a better plumber to work for. That goes away. Hector Castrellin says, what are your thoughts on press refrigeration fittings? Zoom lock. I got to tell you, I don't do a lot of refrigeration, and I don't know how I feel about the press because of, refrigerants boil, they off gas, that they do different things, and the pressures can be phenomenal. So, man, I'm not real sure about how I feel about the press fittings on those. I would definitely have to check out the specs on the press fitting, see what refrigerant they're using, what the pressure is. That is one that I'd be like, man, that can be a really, really big one. All right. I got a couple more questions here in the form, and now I'm going to start getting ready to shut this thing down. Is it possible to enter the trades while working part-time, or does it generally require full-time commitment? Most companies want to hire somebody full-time. The reason being, we're working all day, and it's kind of hard to just bring in somebody to work at night when most of us aren't working. Now, you may be able to find a company that works around the clock, and you might be able to contact them and say, hey, look, I'd like to be your nighttime apprentice or evening apprentice, something like that. You may be able to find an opportunity. You're not going to know until you get out there and try. Patrick Duffy says, thoughts on plumbers putty versus silicone versus rubber gaskets. Many kitchen faucets come with gaskets, and keep plumber's putty optional. As a plumber, I've always done plumber's putty, but I also understand to read the directions, and I know that will surprise a lot of y'all. But if the directions say, hey, look, we recommend no putty, we want this gasket or whatever, and I'll do whatever the manufacturer recommends because I don't want to void any warranty. So that's always a really, really big deal to me. So I'm going to start getting ready to shut this puppy down. But, what I want to tell you, I want to jump over in the chat real quick and say, Sean Strong, good to have you in here, brother. I do appreciate you hanging around. Andy Murphy, you are more than welcome. And I committed to laying pipe a long, long time ago. The neat thing is look, and I know we've still got Amber and Grayson and Sean. I think I saw Julie in here a minute ago. I really do appreciate all, and I see, God, Urban Next Door looks like, you say, I thought you got out a while back, but maybe you are still in here. Anyway, look, I love what we do. I love the opportunity that we get. I love the fact that we get to come in here every week and talk plumbing. Now, if you hadn't subscribed to the channel, here's why I recommend it. If you are wanting to get in the trades, if you're in the trades, you want to get better. If you're in the trades and you're good and you're thinking about opening your own company, you just don't know what to do. Or if you're in the trades and have your own company and you want to learn to get better, man, it can help you. Sean, thank you, brother. We love having you here. The big deal for me is, look, there's a lot of people out there giving a lot of bad advice, even on YouTube, on all the social platforms. So I'm going to tell you where I'm at. I'm here on YouTube. You know that. I've got another YouTube channel called The Trade Talks. I definitely recommend going over there and subscribing to that. We're fixing to do some cool stuff there. The other thing is literally we're on TikTok. You can go to Roger Wakefield, go to Instagram, go to Roger Wakefield, also go to Boom the Plumber. Sean, if you can put a link in there to your Instagram, that'd be great. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. Our subreddit channel, Roger Wakefield Posts, go over there and check that out because that's where we put pictures and videos, or that's where we get pictures and videos for our a lot of our reaction videos. So if you've really seen some good, really, really good, and Sean, I'll tell you this, man, if you've got some great pictures and videos of work that you've done, put it in here. I've had a lot of people say, look, you always put in a lot of the bad stuff, man, show us some of the good. So, if y'all will do that, guys, I'm on different social media platforms because we do different things in different places. The things I talk about here, I may talk about in a different way on Instagram or TikTok. You may be able to learn it better there. But what I would say is go check it out, see what we're doing, see if you like it better. I think that doing that may help all of you. It may help you see a different way. And over there, we've got different people that come in and comment and contribute and do different things on all the different channels. So, and I hope that you at least go over and check it out, subscribe, follow, join, whatever it is that you do, and hopefully you'll learn something. Hey, Mr. Roger, I'm 16 currently, and as soon as I graduate, plan on enlisting in the Marine Corps. Good for you. But the pay isn't great. Would you recommend plumbing between deployments? You know, if you're in the Marines, I don't know that you're just going to have a whole lot of spare time when you come home. It's going to be hard to learn because you're only going to get a job for a week or two or a month and then go, and you're going to forget while you're gone. Here's what I would recommend. And they used to have this when I was younger. If you get in and get like your trades license, when you go into the military, you go in as an officer. So that might be something worth looking at and thinking about. It may benefit you. It may help you make more money. And the good thing is I had somebody in the trades send me a message just the other day saying that, or they're not in the trades, they're joining the military, or they're in the military, and now the military is wanting to change their designation or whatever and then make them a plumber. And he got into one of the deals and says, hey, man, what do you think about it? And I got to tell you, man, if the military would pay me to plumb and teach me and I can get credit for hours and stuff like that, to me, that would be phenomenal. So, Matthew Blasek, number one, thank you for wanting to go serve. I appreciate you and your willingness to serve the country. I hope everything works out for you, and I hope that you stay safe and well. So, guys, that's pretty much it for today. I really hope that you all enjoyed it. If you got some value out of this, if you learned something, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. That lets the wonderful algorithm know that we're doing what we're supposed to do. So if you liked it, please give us a thumbs up. If you really liked it and you hadn't yet, subscribe, ring the bell. That way you know when we're jumping in here doing things. And there's Sean's link, Boom the Plumber on Instagram. Go find him. Look, man, Sean's like a brother to me. I think the world of him. Definitely love him being in here. Always brings great advice, and I do love it. So to those of y'all that came in today, thank you for being here. Those of you that hung around with me all night, man, I appreciate it. Hopefully we're going to be back here next Monday. As you know, I'm having elbow surgery on Wednesday. Now, see, don't leave a super chat now. Man, now I feel like I need to stay in here a little bit longer. No, I appreciate that. Blair Scott and I really do appreciate that. Guys, look, I love what I do. And I love the fact that so many of y'all like it, you appreciate it, you enjoy it. And I tell you what, before everybody gets out of here, and I know there's only 100 people in here right now, so this would really be a good time to do it. We're putting together some things. And we're thinking about doing a monthly, hour-long training. Once a month with apprentices, once a month with journeymen that want to learn to get better, once a month with journeymen that want to learn, or even masters that want to learn the things to open their own company, and then once a month with plumbing company owners that want to learn to use social media better to make their phone ring. So if y'all will, before I get out of here, if that is something you'd be in, just put a hashtag yes in the comments. And the reason I say that is, look, it's something we're thinking about doing. We hadn't started it yet. We've been talking about it for a while. But we've been talking about it because a lot of people have literally been sending this message saying, hey, how can I do more with you? How can I learn from you? How can I do this? How can I do that? So if you're in here now, and I'll leave this up for a little bit, but if you're in here now and you think, hey, look, I would like to do a once a month training, with Roger, do me a favor, leave me a comment in here, let me know. Just do a hashtag yes. And I love it. Sean says hashtag yes. If it's something you think you might be interested in, man, leave me a comment. Let me know. We are seriously looking at how we could put this together and make it work. And I'm telling you, I think that the way we're looking at doing it, I think there'd be a lot of great information that could really help a lot of people. So anyway, it's something we're working on. I just kind of wanted to give y'all a heads up about it. So guys, number one, I appreciate all of y'all being in here. Man, we've gone through a lot of questions tonight and thoroughly enjoy it. And it looks like I may. Oscar Carr says, when did you commit to laying pipe? Man, I committed that a long time ago. So anyway, guys, I do appreciate y'all being in here. I appreciate you coming back every week. Like I said, if you learn something, just give me a thumbs up. That lets the YouTube algorithm know we're doing what they want us to do. Guys, as we start moving into other things, I will definitely let y'all know. But I really do appreciate you being here. If you're in the trade, man, keep your head up. You have a great job. If you want to get better at it, that's up to you. You're the only one that can tell yourself no. Don't let that plumbing license, that journeyman license, that professional license make you think that you stop right there. There's still a lot of things to do to learn, to grow, and to bring more value to you and your family. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.